All right, RSM or 308ers, I guess would be the call. Recreation and Sport Management, uh, 308. We're talking about putting together tournaments and other sporting events. And today, what we're going to talk about as we move forward, looking at the different elements of putting together these events. In last class, we talked about personnel and personnel related issues. And today, we're going to talk about marketing, promotions, and sponsorships. These two materials will be on the next quiz, which comes available this evening. It'll stay available till tomorrow at 5 o'clock. So make sure you get on there and do those. So let's talk a little bit about marketing. And I'm not going to, go a whole lot in depth. I mean, I'm spending basically one day on marketing when you probably spent a whole class in RSM 369 learning about marketing and promotion. So just kind of a quick overview of marketing and promotion and looking at it from a standpoint of recreational sport. So as a quick reminder, marketing is basically the process of planning and executing consumption, pricing, promotion, distribution of goods, ideas, goods, services to create exchanges that satisfy the individual and organizational objectives. And you remember the marketing mix is all about product, price, place, and promotion, right? Product, price, place, and promotion. And those are the four P's of the marketing mix that you probably went in a great deal of depth with. So the idea is here, we want to create that exchange. We want to create that exchange through our pricing, through our promotion, way that we distribute our goods and services so that others want it, and it helps us meet our goals and helps them meet their goals as well. Okay, and sponsorship is kind of an element of marketing, but it's also look at it as a budgeting aspect or a way that you can get resources to help your events. Sponsorship is an investment in cash or in kind in an activity for access to the business potential associated with that activity. And it's it's kind of a component of the marketing mix. It's a way that we can get support for our events, and then also the sponsor gets something out of it, we get something out of it, and hopefully the participants as well get an element out of it, whether it's that idea of trying to get the consumer to consume goods, get them to get out and take part in not only our event, but whatever our sponsor is selling as well. So marketing is an exchange. One of the things I just mentioned is marketing is an exchange. And basically what that means is, let me move this up. There we go. Hey. Products and services are bundles of attributes. So there's attributes to everything that we have. Okay. What are the attributes? Well, we get competition in our events. We get fun. We get socializing. We get an opportunity to experience that risk and excitement and enjoyment. So there's all these attributes to it. There's also maybe the not only the game, but maybe some of those external rewards that we might seek out from participating as well. And so the customers are also our bundles of needs as well. So our product is a bundle of attributes. There's all these different elements to it that we can sell and make people aware of those benefits that they might be getting. But then the customer also has a bundle of needs. They have the needs that they want to get from participating in our event, or they want to get those needs met one way, and hopefully we're the way that they're going to do it. So successful marketing efforts help facilitate that exchange. They have needs, we have the ways to meet those needs, and we put them together and we get those needs met, and we get our objectives met, they get their objectives met, and everybody comes away happy, right? So that's the marketing process. That's what's going on. That's the exchange that takes place. And so our job is to make sure that people are aware of our attributes and they can match it up with their needs. And sometimes we also have to remind them of what their needs are, or maybe give them an extra little push of what their needs are. So looking at this, we have product and service attributes. Maybe it's the cost, the price of it. It may be the availability. We just went through a case where there was very few opportunities available because of COVID. And so, some of those activities or some of those ones that were available were really heavily used because they were available and not much else was out there. The physical features of it, and it might be facilities that you want to participate in the facilities. We just got to play a tournament in Pelican Stadium. That's quite a experience for high school and under high school aged young men to get a chance to do that. So those physical features of the event. And then what are the customer needs? Well, they might be looking for something low cost. They might be looking for, sometimes in our field, they're looking for PM availability. They want things that are done in the evening so that they can participate in them, or even later at night so they can participate. Sometimes it might even be AM availability, particularly with seniors, where they want that opportunity to participate early in the morning. And then, is it inclusive atmosphere? Are they going to feel welcome? They may not have the best skills, but are they going to feel welcome and be able to socialize and have a good time, even if they're not the best athlete out there? Okay, and so that's what we try to do is, all right, let's learn what the customer needs are, learn how we can meet those customer needs, get that exchange to take place, and that's what marketing is all about, in a 6-minute nutshell. Okay. One thing when we look at this marketing concept, one of the things that we have to be aware of is aggregation versus disaggregation. And that comes back to our marketing efforts. Our marketing efforts run on a continuum. So think of it as a straight line, and on either end are polar opposites. Okay. So market aggregation is mass marketing. So putting out commercials, whether it be television, radio, putting out a newspaper. We're reaching a large number of people with the same message. Okay, large number of people with the same message. We also have to think of it from a disaggregation standpoint, where we like that one-on-one or one-to-one marketing. We like to, and people like now to feel special, and we want to make them, feel special, that we are really trying to seek out their particular participation, and that's what we can go for. And so when we look at market segmentation, remember one of the efforts is to segment the market. Again, this always cracks me up or makes me beat my head against the wall when we talk about market segmentation, talk about how you segment the market. And I get all the time from students that, well, I don't segment the market because I don't discriminate against anybody. That's not what we're talking about. We want to try to use our resources to the best possible ability to reach the potential audience that we're going to have. Okay, I can send out a plan and the best flyers and the best mass media promotion to California for our Hollow Scream in North Myrtle Beach, and guess what? We're not going to get anybody. It's going to be a waste of a lot of resources because they're not going to come. I'm not discriminating against them. I'm just being real. They're not going to come to our event because they're not going to travel all the way across the country to do a Halloween event for 4 hours. Okay, we know that. So what we have to try to do is be smart with the resources that we have and use them in the best possible way. So one of the things that you'll see now, so market aggregation, think of it as those flyers that you put together and you put out on people's cars, or you put around the buildings or the billboards that you see. They all have the same message, and everybody that goes by them is going to see that same message. There's nothing special about it. It's just information out there to maybe make people aware and maybe help to draw them to your event. But, most of the people aren't, they're just going to drive right on by, and they're not going to be interested because it's not meeting one of their needs, okay? So how do we minimize that? And so one of the things that we've seen taking place more and more is market disaggregation, where now we had people that ran our race last year. We have their information in our database. We can send out the information for this year's event right to them. We know that they're already an interested market because they did it in the past. And so we have their contact information. We can send them special messages even throughout the year to keep them interested and keep them coming in. And so that's where we get into disaggregation. We also, it's scary now, and if you have ever looked up something on your computer or say something around your phone nowadays, and then you go into social media and surprise, that thing that you just talked about comes up in your Facebook. Well, that's market disaggregation. I hate to say it, people are listening, and people are listening, and then they know what you're interested in, know what's on your mind, and voila, there it is on your Facebook or social media. Okay. I was just, in my kitchen a little while ago, and I was talking about something, and I was sitting there looking at our little Google app there, and it's like, they're just sitting there getting information off of us by what we talk about. Okay. And Amazon really good at this as well. They'll look at what you look at on Amazon, and then lo and behold, they'll come up with a list of different things that might interest you that you might want to purchase from them. It's market disaggregation. It's making a special, list of what would interest Don Rocky, and we can put a list together, and gosh, you don't even have to be smart enough to look it up yourself, but we'll do it for you. It's the kind of way some of these vendors are doing it. And so, we want to remember both the aggregation, getting out to mass media and getting the information out to masses, but we also want to remember the disaggregation and keep in mind the market segmentation, the geographics and the social demographics and the behavior and the psychographics. All that play a part in how we can pick which audience is going to be most likely to participate. And we can put on the best running race in the world, but it's not going to draw everybody. How many of you like to run, a 5K and go 3.1 miles? Probably most of you don't. I like to do 13.1. Again, smaller part of the population likes to do that. We're narrowing it down. We don't have to send it out to everybody because they're probably not going to be that interested in it, right? So just things to keep in mind as you're putting together races and events, and that's where getting their information is so important, because you can keep in contact with them throughout the year. You can keep in contact with people that already consume your resource. Okay. The promotional mix, it's different ways that we can get our information out there. We have advertising, basically mass media, right? And sending our message out in mass media, commercials, flyers. Publicity is having somebody else do it for us. News comes out and does a story about our event, newspaper, TV, and that gives us publicity. Okay? And it has a little bit more respectability, because people will believe, because it's another source other than you telling how great it is, which is oftentimes happens with advertising, right? Promotions is having those sales or reduced in race, giving people a trial. We might do it where if you sign up 5 people for the race, everybody gets a discount. Okay, so you bring a group, we want that group to come in and participate, we'll give you a discount if you do so. Okay. Personal selling is just going out and doing it yourself, and that's a lot of disaggregate marketing, because you're going out and you change your spiel to every group or every individual you talk to, because you know their specific needs and you get an idea of what they want, and then you can show how this event or this activity can meet their needs. And word of mouth, I always put this under publicity because it ties in with that outside and other people providing information about the event, saying how great it is, and people are more likely to buy into that because they're supposedly unbiased, just like publicity. Publicity should be unbiased, and so people are willing to believe that more. Advertising biased, promotions or personal selling very biased, but word of mouth and publicity aren't. Okay, I'm going to stop here. We're going to pick up some more information about the promotions and how to get our information out there to the public.